priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call
John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating
and Electrical.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Coming at you live from the heart of downtown Lincoln. This is Old School with Foreman and Orman. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Here's Troy Detmer dropping straight back in the pocket. Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score. Foreman got it, and it's touchdown Huskers.
Black shirts answer the call one more time.
And Austin Orman. Old School with Foreman and Orman is sponsored by Graham Tire Company of Lincoln. Your tire store next door with 4 Lincoln locations. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. Welcome back into Old School, second segment of the show, second hour of the show. Thanks to Nick Wyman sitting in the first time. Now we got Boss Man DP up in here. DP, welcome to Old School. How are you?
Good to be back. Good to be back. Finding out what our legal process is. Finding out.
Trust the process.
Have you been called to jury duty?
Okay, so I got called to regular jury duty once. I got out of it because my brother clerks with the county attorney, and I was dealing with some health stuff at the time, and I made a big enough stink about that they let me out of it. And then actually, at the end of my paternity leave, so not that long ago, I had to report for grand jury selection, and they ended up not picking me. So I was close, and that grand jury thing is different than the regular jury thing. But DP, the jury is out on John Harbaugh in Baltimore.
Oh, they
after
slammed the gavel.
Seasons.
They slammed the gavel. They slammed the gavel, and I don't understand. I think that's the fairest thing to say. Is that like people want to point to NIL, transfer portal, and all, and I keep saying this, that it's the people in charge. It's the people in charge.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what a standard is. We don't know what winning is. We don't know what winning enough is. We don't know what a good coach is. We don't know what, I kind of feel like I was here in Lincoln when Coach Osborne hadn't won a national title. And people were talking, well, you just can't win the big one. or Tom Landry before he got his Super Bowl in, right? He just can't win the big one, right? But maybe you're just not supposed to win the big one. You're firing dudes who competed, right? And I don't know if this is a Lamar thing. I don't know if this is a handling thing. I don't know if this is a management thing. I don't know if it's a winning thing. I don't know what's going on in Baltimore.
3 head coaches in the entire history of the Baltimore Ravens, dating back to their first years in an expansion team in '96. Tom Marchibroda, Brian Billick, who got a Super Bowl in year 2, and then John Harbaugh, who won his Super Bowl in the 2012 season. Won the AFC North with a 10-6 record, 398 points for 344. Again, of course, beat his brother and the San Francisco 49ers in the Harbaugh Bowl. The lights went out on that game and on John Harbaugh's time in Baltimore. Sounds like there were some tensions brewing underneath the surface, but as successful as Baltimore has been, I mean, John Harbaugh, 180 wins in 18 seasons. You average 10 wins a year in the NFL. To be on the doorstep of the Super Bowl a couple other times. Sure, they flamed out a couple times. They ran into other good teams. They weren't able to knock off the Chiefs or the Bills consistently. But to your point, DP, they were always in the fight. They were always competitive. It's been thought of as one of the best run organizations in sports from top down. And now they move on from, pretty clearly the best head coach in their tenure, in John Harbaugh, who instantly, and this is to me is the sign of, okay, maybe made a mistake, the guy that instantly goes to best coach available. Everyone is looking to hire this guy, and you willingly got rid of him?
Literally everybody. As a matter of fact, there are people that are really upset that they didn't wait.
Yeah.
Like Michigan's going, oh, man, we were 2 weeks away. We were 2 weeks away from having our guy, right? I mean, if you're Penn State, Florida, like there are a bunch of people who were like, oh, man. Like UCLA would, what? Like, I want to understand what the theory is behind getting rid of one of the best coach. Like, it's one of the best coaches in the game. Right? And look, he was competing with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Before that, he was competing directly with Belichick and Brady.
Mm-hmm.
He's on par. He's got twice the MVPs that Josh Allen has, with one more Super Bowl ring than Buffalo has.
Yeah.
Right? Just in that era alone, just in that run.
Mm-hmm.
And how many teams actually, I mean, if you're the Rams, you had one.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The Eagles, you kind of understand, right? You had your one.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys,
not in my lifetime.
Right? Packers? Bears.
Yeah, got one.
Bears.
Have not.
Lions.
Never.
Right? I mean, Bucks.
Got one.
Right? In this run, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That it's not easy to do.
No.
It's not easy to do. And you have a guy that, again, who knows what terrible things are being said to one another in private, right? I don't know what's going on in Baltimore. I can't speak to it.
A longtime sports columnist out there said it felt like it was coming to decision time for the Ravens. They either pick the head coach or they pick the quarterback. I don't know if that's a true dichotomy or not, because both those guys, DP, I think deservedly have a lot of sway in that organization. Harbaugh having been there for 18 years and Lamar being a 2-time MVP, regardless of who's most to blame or who's not to blame or who's the instigator, who's the victim in this situation, it's really unfortunate for the city of Baltimore and for that organization that there seemed to be some friction and you couldn't work something out. And you felt that your best option somehow was to let go of a guy that instantly becomes the top free agent head coach. How is that the best possible solution?
Well, but in every, let me go through it. And again, this is where I just wonder what people are doing. Washington under Joe Gibbs had the friction because he didn't want to play Joe Theismann. Benched him for nobody. No, literally, you can't name the backups to Joe Theismann before they finally settle on that. Joe Gibbs turned John Riggins into a fullback, a blocking back. Didn't give him the ball until Riggins said, you know what, I'm out of here. And then he has to go to his cabin to find him and say, please come back. We need you. Oh, Super Bowl awaits and MVPs.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're gonna pick Jay Schrader over Doug Williams, right? And Jay's gonna absolutely tank 3 years of playoffs. And Doug is good. Doug literally walked into the office and said, Coach, trade me. I don't care who you trade me to. I don't care what. Get a bag of Skittles, get a bag of donuts.
Just get me out.
Just get me out of here. And Joe's like, if that's how you feel, I'll make the trade. And then he comes back from lunch and he goes, something tells me we're going to need you. I didn't make the trade. And you win a Super Bowl. Yeah. Like you picked Stan Humphries over Mark Rippon. Right?
You did.
I mean, we know the friction between Buddy Ryan and his entire team. We know the friction between Mike Ditka and Jim McMahon. We know the friction between Walsh and Montana and Steve Young. We know that this is what happens. Hey, can we forget the fact that Belichick chose
Jimmy G?
Before that, he chose Bledsoe over Brady. And if Bledsoe doesn't get his head spun around, we don't find the GOAT. The GOAT's hold the clipboard trying to figure out what he's going to name his drive-through restaurant. We understand friction is required. It's absolutely required. So why do we act like, oh, there's a little friction, somebody's got to go?
Here's this from Diana Rossini of The Athletic. A key pressure point in the John Harbaugh dismissal, according to those familiar with today's discussions, was his refusal to entertain any conversations about potentially moving on from offensive coordinator Todd Monken. Baltimore's offense this year ranked 11th in points per game, 16th in yards per game, after ranking 3rd and 1st last year, 4th and 6th years before that. It seems like an odd hill to die on, but your guy's your guy, I guess.
The 2-time MVP could have been 4. Could have been the 4-time MVP, truth be told, right?
Could have.
And we can legitimately say that he is a one-of-a-kind quarterback in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm.
We've never seen it before, haven't seen it since.
He's a good player. He's good.
And coaches, when I tell you that, I've been in them rooms, man, where you hear coaches get on a hill and you're like, wow, that's where you're going. Huh? You have the Super Bowl MVP, Mark Rippon, and you're going to move up and spend draft picks to take Desmond Howard and then Heath Schuler.
On purpose.
You have the posse and Mark Rippon, the MVP, and you choose in consecutive years Heath Schuler and Desmond Howard. Those folks don't always get it right.
Believe it or not. 5985 says, how does Michael Vick compare to Lamar Jackson?
2.0. He's the improved microchip. In a game that set up the game. Vic opened the portal, that digital portal to what duplicity could fully look like. Lamar was the new definition of it. It was the new, quicker, faster chip. And oh my goodness, you could put him in a system, and then he was coachable in the space that he was willing to stand back there, even to his own demise. To his own demise. I mean, you can go back to Donovan McNabb and Randall Cunningham and go back and find guys who had that duplicity, and they excelled on the other extreme, which is the thing that hadn't happened. But this version of it is the door that opens everything behind it. That's why we're talking about the young quarterbacks that we're talking about.
Yeah.
He and Cam for a run, right? That Cam, we hadn't seen those prototypes.
No.
So, and Josh Allen doesn't get the look or the credit he gets now without that. So, they would tell him, oh, you're being, and think about it. That's why Jackson Dart thinks he's, in that club, that he needs to be a playmaker with his feet. Nah, bro. Get to the turf. Get to the turf.
Cubsker says it's going to be great watching the Bengals, Browns, and Ravens fight for who isn't going to be last in the AFC North. He's a Steelers fan, of course. Wendell says Lamar is good, but will never take the step up to the next level.
We say that about everybody until they take the next step. That's all
he's done is not win a Super Bowl. He's done everything else.
We say it about Jalen Hurts. We say that currently about Josh Allen. We say that. Listen, we say that about everybody who is not winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that's like 4 quarterbacks in the last 22 years.
Seriously.
It's just not that easy.
It's not. We get to this then, DP, 23-20. Raiders better throw everything at Harbaugh. Bunch of openings, now 7, including the Ravens. Outside of them, you have Las Vegas, Cleveland, Tennessee, Atlanta, New York, and who am I missing?
Oh, there's so many.
I'm missing
Dallas?
one,
No.
Sorry. If only.
Dallas. No. Well, that would be the thing, because if Jerry Jones knew he could have had this conversation 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, there'd have been an opening.
Right.
There'd have been an opening. Jerry
Right.
Jones would have been like, matter of fact, Jerry Jones on the phone right now. Like, so talk to me. What kind of numbers were we really looking at? What are we thinking about?
Oh, in Arizona. That's the other one. Thank
Yeah.
you, Nebraska ball fan.
Yeah.
Any of those appeal to you for John Harbaugh?
Okay, so last night I got sparked. I was having a conversation. DeMornay was in the building, and he's a Raiders fan. And he was just kind of joking about what would happen there. And of course, Vegas. It checks all the boxes. Everybody loves the idea of a new sheriff in Vegas. And I said, well, for the Raiders, I don't care who the head coach is, but if you go and get me, if it's Atlanta, if I'm Atlanta right now, then they're gonna lean heavily towards Matt Ryan. Like, they're gonna lean towards Matty Ice. But if I'm Atlanta and I want to own Atlanta, I want to own the Mid-Atlantic. I want to sell tickets. I want to sell jerseys. I want to sell sponsorships. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and name a head coach and associate head coach. The head coach is Deion Sanders. The associate head coach is Michael Vick.
Woo.
One runs offense, one runs defense, and we just sell jerseys. It'll be the first coaches in NFL history that wore jerseys on the sideline. and that the coaches, the coordinators' jerseys would still be the top selling jerseys of those particular teams. Because if you're Atlanta, I mean, you need to throw a party. And the other side of it is Vegas. Because if I'm Vegas and I need showmanship as a part, it's on the marquee. That if you tell me that Deion and Mike Vick are hanging out in Las Vegas.
Bada Bing says, I got to debate with my fellow Raiders fan. He was arguing John Gruden would be a better hire than John Harbaugh.
We don't know. Have you talked to John Gruden lately?
He looked like a Chucky doll before, but he is the Chucky doll, craziness and all.
He's at a point where he's enjoying a different kind of life now.
Yeah.
Like he's making enough money. He hasn't taken a loss in years. And I don't know. He may want to do it. But there are too many guys like Ed Reed who are out there who are just absolute savants when it comes to breaking this thing down and sharing it, that I would expect for them to come and play. I mean, think about the Deshaun Jacksons, the D'Angelo Halls. There's Santana Moss. There's a whole bunch of former players who now want to get their oars in the water. And if you're, for all the franchises we're talking about, they're all trying to drive ticket sales and sponsorships.
Yeah.
They're all trying to drive it. And we now have tracking for it. So the fan base has an idea about what they think the personality. It's like Nebraska. You have an idea about how you want to be represented.
Mm-hmm.
None of them can do wrong by Harbaugh, but there's only one Harbaugh.
Yeah. But, well, there's Jim. But there's only one John Harbaugh.
Well,
only one classy Harbaugh.
No. That part. The other one ain't going anywhere. I don't know what the ideal situation for him is. I think he would choose Detroit maybe, but otherwise I'm not sure, or Indy for that matter.
We'll see.
They put him in the hall. So
they did.
They put him in the hall.
They did.
They put that jersey up there, Austin.
They did. The other option I saw floated for John Harbaugh, DP, Miami. John Harbaugh and Stephen Ross are tight.
But what are we going to do here at the ticket if that happens?
It's the Dolphins. It won't go well, so we'll still get the chance to laugh at Jake,
Jake Sorensen would be incorrigible.
Is he not already?
We do understand what that would be like every day.
We do.
Like every day until they get eliminated next season. We know what that's going to sound and feel like.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want that. We don't want that.
John Harbaugh might, but I don't know if we do. But just an option I saw thrown out there. And the flip side of that, DP, is that Ravens' job is a really good one. Think about all the talent on that roster outside of Lamar Jackson. I mean, if you're a Jesse Minter, who's been in Baltimore before, I'm having my agent work the phones at least to get a call, but you're going to be hard pressed to upgrade from the guy you just let walk out the door because you said, yeah, we'll see it.
I mentioned a name earlier that is a legend in Baltimore. Number 20. That number 20 could walk in and change. If you want that town to go from mourning to throwing a parade down the middle of Utah Street, it's if they sign Ed Reed and say build a coaching staff of guys. Get me the guys. And you know who comes with him, right? You know McAllister comes with him. Ray comes with him. You know that happens, right? You know that Dilfer is in the conversation, right? You know that group shows up, right? You know that. So I don't know. I don't know, man. It's going to be pretty interesting.
It sure will be. 75-92. DP Dolphins get eliminated 6 games into the season. Not too long.
Six games.
Okay.
Just 6 weeks. But it's the lead up. It's the lead up from January to through preseason. The hype that Jake Sorensen would put us through. Yeah.
Cubs, honestly, I'm just hoping he leaves the AFC North, because if Cleveland gets an offense to go with that defense, watch out. But that's the other thing, DP. Not that I'm the biggest Kevin Stefanski guy, but he also vaulted to the top of a lot of places lists. Not a perfect tenure in Cleveland, but 2 AFC North teams have gotten rid of 2 pretty well-respected coaches. And that's saying about the least I can about Kevin Stefanski and John Harbaugh, is that they're pretty well-respected.
By who, though?
The industry. I mean, these guys vault to the top of these places list. They're the ones with the most interviews lined up right now, or about to in Harbaugh's case.
But players don't like him. Players don't like him.
Thomas and Lincoln, why would you want to go to a direct rival? Why wouldn't you? Just take it to the other team?
I want Stefanski back I want him with the Cowboys. That's what I think of that pair. I want that to happen, because I need the comedy to just be out loud. I'm not a Stefanski fan for a variety of reasons. And I'm not telling anybody how to feel about the guy, but I don't want him anywhere near what I'm doing. And think about this as well. There are some coordinators out of DC that were released that have the sauce attached to them.
One of them has ties to a certain team 3 hours down the road from here.
Yeah, and you ask the question, right? You you ask the yeah. Look at the Cowboy. Look at Cowboys Nation show up. They show up, and you mention them in full, and they just come running to the text line.
Dallas. Someone say Dallas.
What?
Hey,
Dallas. Someone's talking Cowboys. Someone's talking Cowboys. Yeah.
Put up the bat signal, but it's just a big old star.
It's just the star. It's sad Rowdy. That's what it is. It's sad. It's Rowdy sitting holding his head. That's what that is. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, it's transfer portal in every sport, and it's constant, and we have to get used to it. But it's not the kids, people. It's not the kids. It's the grown-ups. It's the owners and the check writers and the coaches. All of the chaos that exists is either coached or allowed. And here you are once again in the middle of it.
Well, DP, for Nebraska men's basketball, both the grown-ups and the kids were all right last night. 72-69, Nebraska takes down an Ohio State University. Let's talk about that game. Huskers moved to 15-0 next on Old School.
You're listening to Old School with Jay Foreman and Austin Orman. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right, back to Old School. Austin Orman, DP with you. Old School now brought to you by the good folks at Graham Tire Company. They're celebrating 75 years of serving the Midwest. More than just tires, they do all kinds of car and light truck repairs, too. From brakes to oil changes, trust Graham Tire for service you can count on. Graham Tire, getting you to the places that matter most. DP, the place that matters most for Nebraska men's basketball, the elusive NCAA tournament win. Can't get it until calendar flips to March. So we got to enjoy 16 more regular season games for the Huskers. If they're anything like the first 15, Husker fans are going to have a heck of a ride. Nebraska still perfect. Now 15-0 on the year, 4-0 in Big Ten play. A road win over Ohio State yesterday. Final score, Huskers 72 and Buckeyes 69. Not a thing of beauty all the way through, but they put one in the left column. And hey, that's 15 of them now.
Let me put my coach's hat on. That NCAA tournament game, bid, win is not the most important thing. As a matter of fact, it's the thing I'm not talking about until March. Never going to talk about it again. Never going to talk about it. So it's not. If you tell me that's important, then I'll point at the very next thing that'll happen, because there are a lot of things that can happen that can go wrong or go left. In the meanwhile, I don't care about March. I'm trying to get this team to play, as you said, on all the cylinders required to learn and master all of the things that will get you wins in March. Wonderful. Mm-hmm. But I need to get a win this week. I need to go 1-0. Listen, correct the things that are broken, the things that aren't working as well. Mm-hmm. Get them the rest that they need. You can't win a tournament game in January. So and then you can't devalue a Big Ten schedule. If you get distracted in the Big Ten, you will get your head kicked in. You will get your head kicked in. Nobody cares about Nebraska's postseason schedule. Nobody in the Big Ten cares about it. They don't care.
Nor should they.
I can't look that far, because there are too many teams in the Big Ten and too many opportunities to play with. Now, you got to get Oogie game ready. You lost Connor Seaton, which still we've managed to not have that be a fatal flaw, right? Which is a pretty, like, if we had said 3 months ago that they lose Connor Seaton, we would have written off the season. We just went, whatever we thought the season was going to be, it's not going to be. If we said that your backup, that you go and get Blue as a backup, as your point guard, and then he's not seeing the floor,
like not sniffing it,
right?
Like not even garbage.
We would say, oh boy, right? Circle two. If we say that Berkay would have a third of his games where he's under 4 points, we would circle that and go, oh boy. If we said Sam Hoiberg was playing 32 plus minutes, meaningful minutes, we would circle and go, you're not gonna win games that way. You can't win the games that way. So if you're doing all of those things, you have things to improve on, you have things to get better at, and you found some things that work at a higher level of effectiveness than you could have guessed. Right? Sam's gonna add percentages to his 3-point shooting. You're gonna rank. The knee's going to hold up, and we can rest him sometimes. We can actually not have him. We got a couple of 30-point games, and we could kind of let him chill a little bit. Wait a minute. Frager's going to ball.
Frager's something.
Every third game, Frager's the guy, right? Every third game, Price is the guy. Well, every 25% of the game, every fourth game, Sanford's the guy. Every fourth game, Frager's the guy. Every fourth game, it's Rink. And then, hey, Jamarcus and Sam make the plays that accumulate. The Berkay throws up a triple-double. What are we talking about? This is Nebraska basketball. There's nobody that could have foreshadowed what's happening. And we can still see a brighter version of it. We can still see a more elevated version of it. So I'm going to lock into – I'm looking forward to better Berkay, more consistent Price. Free up Frager. Let him go off, young man. Let him go off, right? And let Sam be my boy. Let Sam be my boy. Let him just run the floor and agitate people, right? Aggravate coaches. Like when he got other coaches looking down their bench and go, how come y'all not playing like Sam? That is winning basketball across the fold. Listen, 15 consecutive wins this season, 19 overall, 2 humongous, ginormous road wins in the Big Ten in the last 5, an absolute mud hole stomping of Creighton, remove the fear of the Giant by facing BYU in the exhibition game. You've seen the beast. You've seen the monster. You know, if you could handle that 7-footer, everybody else's 7-footer ain't really that big a deal, right? You got to win against a BYU team that some people prognosticated, hey, that's a grade 8 team. So you've stared down Illinois, Michigan State. You've gone on the road, and you faced the Hall of Famer. And then you fought the, swing game that could get you, the get you game. You beat that.
Mm-hmm.
And now what happens? Congratulations. You've done all that. You've got another get you game on the schedule. Another letdown game on the schedule. And here we go. That's the rest of the season. One game at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Can they answer the questions that show up that night?
They did last night, and Nebraska gets off to a really hot start. I had the scoring runs pulled up here. So Nebraska at one point was up 10-1 in that game. That was just 2 minutes into the game. Nebraska had 10 points on the board. They were up 13-5. It was at the first media timeout. Neither team scored then for a little while. Ohio State would cut it to 15-13. And then DP Nebraska responded, went on a 12-0 run to push it back to 27-13. Nebraska would kind of stall from that point out offensively. Still put 11 points on the board in those 8.5 minutes, but had a handful of turnovers in there. It was 11 points off turnovers for Ohio State of eight Nebraska turnovers in that first half that kept them close. Ohio State chipped away. And I brought up, it's the older guys and the younger guys at the end of last segment. They contributed. Rink Mast and Price Sanford, the numbers aren't pretty, but they both had a moment. Ohio State takes the lead for the first time. Nebraska goes to Rink Mast, hits a bucket, puts Nebraska right back in front. Okay, that was big. Only 2 points in a game that there were, 141 total points scored, only 2 of them, but seemed pretty big. Price Sanford didn't shoot it well from 3 of 9, not a normal night for him, which is funny because let's say you remove one attempt or add one make. 3 of 8 is really good, 4 of 10 is really good. 3 of 9 looks a little suspicious for a guy like Price Sanford, but there comes Sam Hoiberg. He tips a rebound out. Price Sanford is a few feet behind the line, makes that 3-pointer to put Nebraska back up. I think at that point, let me see if I can find where it was. I'm a little too far down. So for Sanford, it was 60-58 after Rink Mast ended up hitting a free throw, missed it, and then Sanford gets the carom and puts Nebraska up 5 with 3 minutes to play. And then how about Braden Frager? Soft turnover led to a pick six. I'm like, oh boy, let's see what Nebraska's got with a minute left. Their half-court offense has been a bit of a slog. They bring it up. They call timeout. What do? They go right to Frager, who works on a former Nebraska prep product as well, and Amari Bynum gets the finish and one, and Nebraska closes it out from there at the free throw line. Marcus Lawrence hit a couple. Sam missed his, but made some defensive plays. Nebraska found a way. They could have lost that game against a desperate Ohio State team.
Are we missing the layup there? That all of those things say that Nebraska didn't play it anywhere near their apex, and they still won,
and they won
on the road at Ohio State.
A desperate Ohio State team.
Right,
They're still looking for its first quad one win. Nebraska.
So shouldn't we be throwing confetti?
I think Husker fans are plenty excited.
Right?
Yeah.
Like because shooting threes that way in the past has been a death. Man.
Yeah, death now.
Yep. Boom. Done. Missing critical free throws. It's come back and haunt.
A late turnover, soft turnover, stare down turnover. It's hurt you.
Opposing player gets on a heater, right? We thought Mobley, this could have been a 30-point heater. Some folks were listening at paying attention to plus minuses, and they were looking at Jamarcus Lawrence. I was like, you don't understand. Lawrence was the reason why he didn't have 30. He was the reason Mobley didn't have 30.
Or Thornton didn't have 30.
Right. I mean, like you go through, you could go through up and down and you go, wait a minute. They defended like madmen. And even with the mistakes, they still managed to find a win on the road in the Big Ten. So I'm fully engaged in waving the flag and throwing confetti for Nebraska basketball. Job well done.
What'd you learn about the Huskers last night, DP?
I hate that I learned this about them because I don't think that it should be necessary or celebrated, but they're really smart. They're really smart about getting the ball in the hands of the right player at the right. They make the right play, not getting the ball to the right player. And in moments, to see them get into a 6 or 7 pass sequence offensively in a critical possession late in the second half, most teams tighten up. They tighten up, and then you got a playmaker that gets the ball in the wing and decides, you know
My
what?
turn.
It's time for me to go.
Mhm.
No, this Husker team is looking for one more pass. They're looking for one more pass, one more kick, one more dump, one more big time pass that moves. They talked about the ability of a defender to defend early in the possession. And the deeper the possession, people would think that the shooting percentage goes down. No, in truth, if you are a productive mission-based passing offense, each additional pass raises the shooting percentage. Because defenders, everybody can defend on ball for the first 8 seconds, 12 seconds, 15 seconds. How many can extend past that?
20 gets touchy. 25 is okay. Everyone starts to panic, and it only takes one.
Looking for one, just like Bobby Boucher. Who you're looking for one? That's all you're looking for. You need for one to get their head turned, so I can back cut or I can get to the soft corner and get to work.
I'll throw this out there as well. Was asked a couple times about the last shot from Ohio State last night, and I still think it was a mistake. But there's an argument to be made that it was the shot they were looking for. They had to get one up. There was a little less time on the clock when I rewatched it than I initially said on postgame last night. I thought there were 7 seconds or about 5 seconds when Tilly shot it.
Okay.
And that's when you got to get the shot up at that point to give yourself a chance at an offensive rebound or time. Even if you make the shot, you want to, especially if you miss, obviously you need time for an offensive rebound. Mobley was still about a half court-ish, chucked ahead to Tilly. And I think he might have thrown it ahead, number one, because he needed to with 5 seconds left. And number two, to avoid the foul up 3. For Ohio State, they at least got a look at the rim as opposed to having to rely on the free throw game and extend it out that way. So I still don't love the idea of John Mobley giving that up and not getting it back. But I can understand, okay, maybe they just had to get the shot up at that point instead of waiting for that kind of grenade screen and pitch to Mobley for the shot there at the end.
But that was within system for them to get that shot. I'm not a member of the club that says I need to hold a shot for the rebound opportunity. If I get the right shot, I expect it to go down.
And see, that's where I don't know if that was the right shot or just the best available shot.
Did he think it was the right shot? That might answer some questions. Did they think it was the right shot?
Yeah, I don't know.
If that's Austin Orman, you think Orman thinks that's going down.
Oh, eyes closed. Eyes closed. Without a doubt.
So I would imagine that he has a bit of the same stroke ego and thinking that, quite frankly, I got a good look. I got a clean look. Even if it wasn't perfect in form, he got a good look from a spot on the floor that he was not uncomfortable. It just didn't go down for him. So, ride how you ride. You don't want to get where a game has that possession and that need.
Right.
You just did. So you got to deal with it.
Last thing, we'll go to break and wrap up the show. Disc Golf Jake says, I understand Michigan is Michigan and we'll do Michigan things, but man, I'm excited for that game. 3 weeks from tonight, it'll be Nebraska on the road in Ann Arbor, a building that they've only won once in. I was against a train wreck of a Michigan team at the end of a lost season, but Nebraska did still find a way to go and win. DP, Michigan's given everyone problems, even the best teams on their schedule, the best teams in the country, they're 30-piecing. Without, fully chugging the Nebraska men's basketball Kool-Aid, Nebraska can get hot for a night. If you're worried about Michigan's length and interior game, how do you beat that? You bomb away from 3. Nebraska has the ability to do that. I'm not predicting a Nebraska win. There's still lots of twists and turns in the season from here to then. But I'm just saying, the way Nebraska wants to play, it's not impossible for Nebraska staring down the barrel of a trip to Ann Arbor. Nebraska should be confident in its ability to go in there, shoot well, and make that a game.
I won't even write the M down. I'm going to hold the Ohio State rule that I'm not going to say any words to begin with it because it's too far away. It's just not important. They don't exist. I have a blue blood basketball program standing in front of me after I just went on the road and got a Big Ten win in a space where I wasn't necessarily sure that I could, and then I got a win at home against a team that some would say I was supposed to be favored against, but it's still Tom Izzo and the number 9 Spartans.
Yeah.
I don't care about anybody or anything except for the Hoosiers. I don't care. Saturday morning, we've talked often about Saturday mornings in the Big Ten on the road. It's always a gunfight.
Whether it's football, basketball, volleyball, wrestling, you name it.
Doesn't matter. So you know what? Focus. It's still the Hoosiers. You got a new coach and got some new money. focus.
Nebraska and Indiana, 11 o'clock tip-off from Simon Scout Assembly Hall in Bloomington. We'll have post-game right after that coming up on Saturday. One final segment here on Old School brought to you by Graham Tire after this.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine. It'll be breezy and mild. An afternoon high near 58. Tonight, mainly clear skies and light winds. Overnight low around 33. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return. The light breeze and warm temperatures. A high near 61. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleckner for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating,
and Electrical.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
A new season, a home crowd, a fresh start. Love Nebraska opens its 2026 home schedule on Sunday, January 11th at Baxter Arena, hosting Love Houston in the home opener. First serve is set for 3 p.m., and the excitement starts the moment the doors open. Don't miss the chance to see elite professional volleyball featuring Olympians, All-Americans, national champions, and more as the season officially gets underway. It's opening night, Nebraska. Be there. Get tickets now at lovneb.com/tickets.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Husker Nation, conference play is here for Husker women's hoops, and we need your help. The Huskers had one of their best starts ever, completing non-conference play with a perfect 12-0 record. But Big Ten play will be a challenge, and they need to hear Husker Nation in the stands for every basket, steal, and each and every win. The road to March starts now, so don't wait. Head to huskers.com/tickets and secure your seat for some unforgettable matchups in PBA. Go Big Red.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
Back to old school with Foreman and Orman on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back wrapping up old school. Big thanks again to the good folks at Graham Tire for their sponsorship of the show. Austin Norman and DP here with you. DP, we talked about Nebraska men's basketball, Nebraska women's basketball back on the right foot, beating Purdue. Got their highest ranking in school history. Lost the first game right after a kind of difficult test with the USC coming to town. Your vibe on Husker women's basketball at this point of their season? Obviously playing a couple fewer conference games than the men do, but still off to the typical start that we're used to from that program.
Yeah, I'm all in this. There's some things that leads you to questions, but they also, they welcome Indiana to town. That's the next up. You got a couple of days to get yourself together and to do this. Matchups are difficult with Indiana. The style of play doesn't always work on that on Nebraska's behalf. But at 13-2 and 2-2 in conference, I find it interesting. Last year, Brett Prince took over right around the 75% of games played mark, 75 to 80%. I fully expect that again this year. You're trying to get other players involved. You're trying to get other players in a groove. You're trying to get other players in rhythm. You're trying to extend your depth chart, right? How deep down the bench can you go? And of course, you still have two players sitting on the end of the bench that can't help you yet, and those players would have been meaningful. Yeah. But having been at the Big Ten championship at the tournament and watching Nebraska extend UCLA, to stretch UCLA out, and it was style of play. When they move the ball on purpose and the shots go down, they can compete with anybody in the country. So I wouldn't be surprised that that's a top 6 Big Ten women's team who end up in the semifinals or the finals of the Big Ten tournament, definitely getting into the tournament, the NCAA tournament, and then what they do with it. Now you're trying to mesh pieces and then give your best player the ball in critical situations and not rely on some of the peripheral players to make plays down the stretch.
I still maintain a great idea for college sports that I know will never happen, but would bring back some, I think, the feel that a lot of people miss, DP, is when you see that Nebraska, the women's team is playing Indiana coming up in a couple days, and then the men's team is playing Indiana in just a few days. Bring back the high school boy-girl doubleheaders.
They do that, but they separate them. But
I'm saying just send them both on the road trip, right? Nebraska and Indiana should be playing both games in the same building.
I'm perfectly okay with that. And I can tell you that the boosters will tell you no, because that's different sponsorships.
Yeah.
And different priority of seating. The people who sit in the front row for the women don't necessarily sit in the front row for the men. And that will be part of the discussion. Don't turn 16,000 seats into 8.
I know it'll never happen. I just think it would be fun to bring back.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot to do. I think it'll extend. I'm okay with the 11-7 pairing.
Or even at the end of the year, right? Let's say it's like an 11 o'clock tip off and a 3 o'clock tip off, right? Have the game, get everyone out, clean up quick.
That's a lot of checks you're leaving on the table, Austin Norman.
I'm just saying. I think it'd be good for college.
If there's 7,000 for Indiana for women's basketball and 14,000 for men, you don't want to turn away the other 7,000.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I get all the reasons why it won't happen. I just think it would help rediscover the magic.
We can dream. Well, I understand. I understand.
DP, we got the wrestlers in next. Got Ridge and Coach Manning both waiting.
Let's get it.
Bring them in. This has been Old School, brought to you by Graham Tire. Again, 4 Lincoln locations. They've been proudly serving the Midwest for 75 years. You can check them out. Just search for Graham Tire. Again, those 4 Lincoln locations. Thanks to Nick Wyman filling in the first hour. DP hopping in the second hour. Jay will be back tomorrow. Full 3-hour show of Old School. But for now, Takedown Tuesday on the way next.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
A new season, a home crowd, a fresh start. Love Nebraska opens its 2026 home schedule on Sunday, January 11th at Baxter Arena, hosting Love Houston in the home opener. First serve is set for 3 p.m., and the excitement starts the moment the doors open. Don't miss the chance to see elite professional volleyball featuring Olympians, All-Americans, national champions, and more as the season officially gets underway. It's opening night, Nebraska.